The silent frontier. The void of space stretched endlessly before the RSS Horizon, humanity's most advanced deep space exploration vessel. Captain Elena Rodriguez gripped the command chair, her eyes fixed on the holographic displays that mapped the uncharted regions of the Orion Arm. 27 years of space exploration had taught her that the universe was both more magnificent and more treacherous than anyone could imagine. Dr. Marcus Chen, the ship's lead xenorchaeologist, burst onto the bridge, his normally composed demeanor replaced by an electric excitement. "Captain, you need to see this," he said, his hands trembling as he projected a three-dimensional image that materialized in the center of the bridge. The hologram revealed an object unlike anything humanity had encountered before. Geometric yet organic, it seemed to pulse with an inner light that defied conventional physics. Its surface was etched with intricate patterns that shifted and changed, creating a mesmerizing display of complexity. "It's not just an artifact," Chen explained, his voice barely above a whisper. "It's a message, a communication device of some kind, but unlike anything in our current understanding of technology." Commander Sarah Queasy, the ship's tactical officer, approached the hologram with a mixture of caution and fascination. Her dark eyes scanned the shifting patterns, her military training battling with scientific curiosity. "It doesn't match any known technological signatures in our database," she reported, her fingers dancing across her console. The RSS Horizon had been designed for precisely this moment. First contact, exploration, understanding. Humanity's most ambitious deep space mission was about to encounter something truly extraordinary. The ship carried a crew of 250 specialists from every conceivable scientific and military background, each selected for their ability to adapt, think critically, and remain calm under pressure. As the artifact's image continued to shift, Dr. Chen began to decode its surface. What initially appeared to be random geometric patterns slowly revealed themselves as a complex language, or perhaps more accurately, a multi-dimensional communication system that transcended traditional linguistic barriers. "It's responding to our scanning frequencies," Chen muttered, more to himself than to anyone else. "But not like any reactive technology we've seen. It's interpreting us." Captain Rodriguez understood the gravity of the moment. Humanity had spent decades reaching out into the cosmos, listening for any sign of intelligent life. Now, that life, or something representing it, was reaching back. The ship's quantum communication array began to vibrate, sending out carefully calibrated signals that Dr. Chen had been preparing for years. It was a mathematical language, a universal code that theoretically could bridge any communicative divide. Suddenly, the artifact's surface erupted in a cascade of light. The bridge crew instinctively shielded their eyes, but Commander Queasy remained focused on her tactical displays. "Energy readings are off the charts," she reported, "but it doesn't feel like a weapon. It feels like a conversation." Dr. Chen's hands moved rapidly across his console, interpreting the incoming data. "It's not just receiving our signals," he said, his voice a mixture of wonder and scientific precision. "It's actively engaging with them, translating, responding, learning." Captain Rodriguez felt the weight of history on her shoulders. This was more than a scientific discovery. This was humanity's first true dialogue with an intelligence beyond their comprehension. "Maintain communication protocols," she ordered, her voice steady. "We approach with respect, with curiosity, but never without caution." The RSS Horizon hung in space, a tiny beacon of human achievement surrounded by the infinite darkness. The artifact continued to pulse, its patterns becoming more complex with each passing moment. Humanity was about to learn that the universe was far stranger, far more intricate, and far more alive than they had ever imagined. Little did they know, this first contact was just the beginning of a journey that would challenge everything humanity understood about its place in the cosmos. The betrayal. The quantum communication link with the artifact had transformed the RSS Horizon's mission from a routine exploration to humanity's most critical diplomatic endeavor. 3 weeks had passed since their initial contact, and Dr. Marcus Chen had barely slept, working tirelessly to decode the intricate message systems embedded within the alien artifact. "It's not just a communication device," Chen explained during a briefing to Captain Rodriguez and Commander Queasy. Holographic projections danced around them, showing complex mathematical patterns that seemed to breathe and shift. "It's a repository of information, more like a living library than a simple communication tool." Suddenly, the ship's proximity alarms screamed to life. Commander Queasy's tactical display erupted with warning signals. "Multiple unidentified vessels approaching," she reported, her voice tight with tension. "They're not matching any known configuration in our database." The sleek biomechanical ships emerged from what appeared to be a spatial distortion. Not quite a wormhole, but something far more advanced. Their hulls seemed to ripple and change, adapting to the space around them like living organisms. "They're the Syndicate," a new voice cut through the tension. Dr. Aria Nakamura, the ship's xenopolitical analyst, stepped forward. Her holographic projections revealed intricate details about the approaching vessels. "A fractious coalition of alien civilizations. They've been monitoring our communications with the artifact." Captain Rodriguez's mind raced. First contact was delicate enough without unexpected military interventions. "Attempts at communication?" she asked. Before Nakamura could respond, the first energy weapon struck the horizon's shields. The ship shuddered, quantum deflectors absorbing the initial impact but clearly stressed. "They're targeting our communication array," Commander Queasy reported, "attempting to isolate us from the artifact." The attack was precise, almost surgical. The Syndicate ships moved with a coordination that suggested a collective intelligence, each vessel moving in perfect synchronization with the others. But something was off. Their tactics suggested desperation more than conquest. Dr. Chen's hands flew across his console. "The artifact," he said suddenly. "They're afraid of what we might learn from it. This isn't a standard military engagement. This is a suppression action." Captain Rodriguez made a decision. "Defensive posture," she commanded. "But do not, under any circumstances, initiate offensive action. We're explorers, not warriors." The Horizon's defensive systems were revolutionary. Developed through decades of theoretical research and practical engineering, they represented the pinnacle of human defensive technology. Quantum shields that could redistribute energy, adaptive camouflage systems, and point defense networks that could track and neutralize incoming projectiles with mathematical precision. What the Syndicate didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for first contact for generations. Every system on the horizon was a testament to human adaptability and innovative thinking. Dr. Nakamura's analysis continued to stream in. "The Syndicate is a coalition held together by fear," she explained. "They've developed a technological hierarchy where information is more valuable than territory. The artifact represents a threat to their existing power structures." Another energy burst struck the horizon. This time, the shields absorbed and redirected the energy, creating a visible ripple of blue-white light around the ship. Commander Queasy couldn't help but allow a small smile. "Shields at 92% efficiency," she reported. The alien vessels seemed confused by the ship's defensive capabilities. Their coordinated attack was designed to overwhelm and disable, but the Horizon was adapting faster than they could adjust. "They want the artifact," Dr. Chen said, his voice a mixture of scientific curiosity and growing concern. "But they don't understand it. No one does. Not completely." Captain Rodriguez studied the tactical display. Humanity had always been underestimated, considered a young, developing species by the older galactic civilizations. This moment would change everything. "Prepare a communication burst," she ordered. "Maximum bandwidth, maximum clarity. Let them know we're not a species to be intimidated." The message was simple, yet profound. Mathematical sequences that demonstrated human understanding, coupled with clear defensive capabilities that showed their technological sophistication. It was a universal language of capability and intent. The Syndicate vessels hesitated, For the first time in their coordinated assault, they showed signs of uncertainty. Humanity had just demonstrated something fundamental. They were not going to be pushed aside. They were going to be heard. As the battle continued, one thing became clear. This was more than a military engagement. This was a first test of humanity's place in a complex, dangerous universe. And they were just getting started. Technological uprising. The Earth Defense Research Complex orbited silently above humanity's homeworld, a testament to decades of scientific innovation and strategic preparation. Inside its crystalline laboratories, Dr. Yara Okoye studied the sensor logs from the Horizon's encounter with the Syndicate, her mind racing with possibilities. They're using a collective neural network, she explained to the gathered military and scientific leadership. Holographic displays showed intricate connection patterns between the alien vessels. Their ships don't just communicate. They think as a single organism. Admiral Helena Reyes leaned forward, her cybernetic eye, a remnant of previous conflicts, scanning the data. And our weakness is their strength, she muttered. The room fell silent, understanding the challenge that lay ahead. Dr. Chen, now working remotely from the Horizon, transmitted additional data about the artifact. What had begun as a communication device was proving to be something far more complex, a key to understanding technologies that defied current scientific understanding. In a sealed laboratory 2 decks below, a team of engineers worked on something that would change everything. Project Prometheus wasn't just a weapon system. It was a complete reimagining of how humanity could interface with technology. Lead engineer Marcus Rodriguez, no relation to the Horizon's captain, activated the first prototype. Unlike the Syndicate's collective neural network, Prometheus was designed to amplify individual human creativity while allowing unprecedented technological coordination. Individual adaptation, Rodriguez explained, is our greatest strength. The system looked deceptively simple, a neural interface no larger than a human palm, capable of connecting multiple human operators into a dynamic fluid network. But where the Syndicate's technology forced uniformity, Prometheus celebrated difference. Each test run produced unexpected results. A mathematician could suddenly understand quantum engineering. An astronaut could comprehend complex linguistic patterns. The interface didn't homogenize. It expanded. Back on the Horizon, Captain Elena Rodriguez received the first test results. "They've done it," she whispered to Commander Queasy. "They found a way to turn our greatest human trait, our ability to think differently, into our ultimate technological advantage." The Syndicate had made a critical miscalculation. They believed uniformity was strength. Humanity knew that true strength came from diversity, from the ability to adapt, to think creatively, to solve problems in ways no standardized system could predict. Dr. Nakamura's xenopolitical analysis revealed another crucial insight. The Syndicate wasn't just fighting to suppress information. They were terrified of what the artifact represented, a potential technological breakthrough that could destabilize their entire social structure. They operate on a principle of controlled evolution, she explained during a strategy briefing. Any technology that introduces true unpredictability is seen as an existential threat. Humanity's response was quintessentially human. Instead of hiding or surrendering, they would push forward. The Prometheus project wasn't just a technological solution. It was a statement of intent. The first full-scale test would come sooner than anyone expected. The Syndicate was regrouping, preparing for another attack. But this time, humanity would be ready. As the prototype Prometheus interface powered up, something extraordinary happened. The system didn't just connect humans. For a brief moment, it seemed to resonate with the mysterious artifact recovered by the Horizon, as if recognizing a similar pattern of adaptive intelligence. Dr. Okoye watched in amazement as complex mathematical sequences began to form, bridging the gap between human innovation and something far more ancient and complex. "We're not just developing a technology," she said to her colleagues. "We're having a conversation with the universe itself." The stage was set. Humanity was no longer just defending itself. It was about to demonstrate why they were a species unlike any other in the cosmos, adaptable, innovative, and utterly unpredictable. The turning point. The void between star systems became a battlefield unlike any in galactic history. The Syndicate's collective fleet approached in perfect geometric formation, their biomechanical ships moving as a single organism. Opposing them, humanity's fleet represented something entirely different, a mosaic of individual innovation and collective purpose. The RSS Horizon led a fleet of ships equipped with the Prometheus interface, each vessel a unique expression of human potential. Captain Elena Rodriguez sat at the command center, her neural linked to the ship's systems, creating a symbiosis that defied traditional combat strategies. Incoming transmission, Commander Sarah Quasi announced. The holographic display flickered, revealing a representational image of the Syndicate's collective consciousness. Surrender is inevitable, the transmission stated, its voice a discordant blend of multiple alien languages. Your species cannot comprehend the complexity of galactic order. Dr. Marcus Chen, monitoring the artifact's responses, noticed something extraordinary. The mysterious object they had discovered weeks ago was resonating, its internal patterns shifting in response to the confrontation. They don't understand us, Rodriguez replied, her voice calm and precise. And that's going to be their weakness. The first wave of Syndicate attacks began. Energy weapons that could slice through conventional shielding struck the human fleet, but each human ship responded differently. Where one vessel might use quantum deflection, another would use gravitational redirection. Some ships seemed to almost dance between incoming fire, their movements unpredictable and fluid. The Prometheus interface transformed the battlefield. Instead of a rigid command structure, each ship became a node in a dynamic, ever-changing network. Tactical information, defensive strategies, and creative solutions flowed between vessels at speeds that would have been impossible with traditional communication. Dr. Yara Okoye, watching from Earth Defense Research Complex, realized they were witnessing something unprecedented. It's not just technological adaptation, she explained to her colleagues. It's collective problem-solving on a scale we've never seen before. A Syndicate battleship launched what appeared to be a devastating energy weapon, a technology that had decimated countless civilizations. But the human fleet didn't just defend. They transformed the attack. The RSS Horizon, using the artifact's mysterious energy patterns, created a quantum resonance field. The incoming weapon didn't just get blocked. It got absorbed. Its energy redistributed in a cascading pattern that disabled 3 nearby Syndicate vessels. We're not fighting, Captain Rodriguez said softly. We're communicating. The battlefield became a language. Each maneuver, each defensive strategy, each creative solution was a sentence in a conversation humanity was having with the universe. The Syndicate's collective intelligence, so used to uniformity, couldn't comprehend the fluid, dynamic nature of human engagement. Dr. Chen's research on the artifact revealed its true nature. It wasn't just a communication device or a repository of information. It was a catalyst, something designed to reveal the potential of species capable of true adaptive intelligence. They're not just watching, Chen realized. They're testing us. As the battle continued, something remarkable happened. Some Syndicate ships began to break formation. Their collective consciousness, so dependent on uniformity, was being challenged by the unpredictability of human tactics. Commander Quasi tracked the battlefield dynamics. We're not defeating them through firepower, she reported. We're defeating them through creativity. The turning point came not with a massive explosion or a decisive strike, but with a moment of profound communication. The artifact began to pulse, its internal patterns synchronizing with the quantum frequencies of the Prometheus interface. For a brief, extraordinary moment, something like understanding passed between humanity and the Syndicate. Not a surrender, not a defeat, but a recognition. Humanity had just demonstrated that intelligence was not about uniformity, but about the ability to adapt, to think differently, to see challenges as conversations waiting to be understood. The battle was far from over, but everything had changed. Echoes of humanity. The aftermath of the battle was unlike any first contact in galactic history. The RSS Horizon sat in space, surrounded by the remnants of the Syndicate fleet, not destroyed, but fundamentally transformed. The mysterious artifact pulsed with an energy that seemed to bridge understanding between species that had once been enemies. Dr. Marcus Chen worked tirelessly in the ship's primary research lab, decoding the final transmissions from the artifact. "It's not just a communication device," he explained to Captain Elena Rodriguez. "It's more like a test, a challenge issued to civilizations capable of true adaptive intelligence." Admiral Helena Reyes, monitoring from Earth Defense Research Complex, understood the profound implications. The battle hadn't been about conquest or destruction. It had been a dialogue, a complex, multi-dimensional conversation about the nature of intelligence itself. The Prometheus interface had revealed something fundamental about humanity. Their strength wasn't in uniformity or collective submission, but in individual creativity working in harmonious, adaptive networks. Where the Syndicate saw weakness in diversity, humans saw strength. Transmissions began to arrive from other parts of the galaxy. Some alien civilizations watched in awe, others in fear. The human fleet hadn't just fought a battle, they had rewritten the rules of galactic engagement. Dr. Yora Okoi's analysis revealed the deeper significance. "We didn't just defend ourselves," she reported during a global briefing. "We demonstrated a form of intelligence that goes beyond traditional understanding. Creativity as a survival mechanism. Adaptability as a form of communication." The artifact continued to pulse, its internal patterns now synchronized with the quantum frequencies of the Prometheus interface. It was as if the object itself was learning, evolving alongside humanity's understanding. Captain Rodriguez reflected on the journey. What had begun as a simple exploration mission had become something far more significant. First contact wasn't about military might or technological superiority. It was about communication, about understanding. Some of the Syndicate vessels that remained began to show signs of fundamental change. Their collective consciousness, once rigid and uniform, now displayed hints of individual variation. They were learning from humanity, just as humanity had learned from them. "We're not conquerors," Rodriguez said during a transmission to the remaining Syndicate ships. "We're explorers. We're here to understand, to learn, to grow." The artifact seemed to respond, its complex geometric patterns shifting in a way that suggested agreement. It was a bridge, not just between species, but between different forms of intelligence. Dr. Chen made a breakthrough in understanding the artifact's origin. It wasn't created by any single species. It was a universal catalyst, designed to identify civilizations capable of true adaptive intelligence. Humanity had passed a test they didn't even know they were taking. Global celebrations erupted on Earth. This wasn't a victory of military might, but a triumph of human potential. The ability to think differently, to adapt, to see challenges as opportunities for understanding. These were humanity's greatest strengths. The galaxy would never be the same. The Syndicate's collective intelligence had encountered something it could never have anticipated. A species that saw diversity as strength, creativity as a survival mechanism, and exploration as the highest form of existence. As the RSS Horizon prepared to continue its mission, Captain Rodriguez looked out at the stars. They were no longer just exploring space. They were engaging in a cosmic dialogue, one that would reshape understanding of intelligence itself. The artifact pulsed one final time. A message, a challenge, a welcome. Humanity had arrived, and their journey was just beginning.